It's Friday, the 25th of November, 2022. Welcome to the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Adam Lang.
Good morning, Michael.
Adam, we've got 5 big stories to get through this morning in 5 minutes, so let's jump into it. Story number 1, the federal government has backed down on its threshold for small businesses in its industrial relations legislation, really as it's rushing through these bills ahead of the Christmas recess. The government confirmed it would lift that threshold for small business under the legislation from 15 to 20 employees, which it says will exempt another 500,000 businesses, though it doesn't necessarily mean the legislation is going to get through the Senate.
There's still a long way to play on this one. Yesterday, the Council of Small Business Organisations Australia, COSBOA, asked for more time to consider the legislation. The opposition is making similar calls, and the Australian Council of Trade Unions, the ACTU, released a report saying multi-employer bargaining, which is the pointy end of the legislation, will narrow the gender pay gap for working women. Employer groups are pushing back against the legislation, saying it will hurt small businesses, create dislocation, and drive more industrial relations disputes.
Yeah, still a long way to go, as you say, on this one. Story number 2, Adam, Victorians head to the ballot box tomorrow with last-minute polling suggesting that the Daniel Andrews government and the Matthew Guy-led opposition are neck and neck.
Just like the federal election, the independents are expected to have a say in the new parliament and may well hold the balance of power with between 3 and 5 seats. Infrastructure spending, the economy, education and health have all had a run in the campaign, and yesterday there was plenty of discussion about lowering the age for probationary drivers.
Story number 3, Qantas cabin crew have voted in favour of industrial action threatening to disrupt travel, Adam, for millions of flyers over Christmas. The vote opens the way for crew to stop work for up to 24 hours, ban overtime work and withdraw from boarding responsibilities as they fight for better pay and conditions.
Michael, that's true. And as we compete for the best prices we can find for air travel, Qantas has offered all unionised workers a 3-year pay deal with 2 years of wage freezes, followed by a 3rd year with a 3% pay rise. But the key sticking point is conditions, whereby the union claims the carrier wants to roll out much longer shifts.
So, Adam, there could be some bad news for travellers over Christmas there, and it kind of leads into story number 4 because there's more bad news. Some of Australia's biggest food suppliers expect double-digit price rises over the next couple of years as supply chain disruptions, labour shortages and natural disasters push up costs. This means that festive season staples are likely to cost much more this year than last year.
Michael, according to the Financial Review, Independent Food Distributors Australia Chief Executive Richard Forbes said price rises of between 6 and 8% were expected in both 2023 and 2024. Recent floods and supply chain problems have prompted the National Food Supply Chain Alliance to lobby the federal government to support the creation of a national food security plan.
All right, last one. Story number 5, Adam. Former US President Barack Obama is heading to Australia to present a number of paid speeches at leadership events in Sydney and in Melbourne. 5 years after leaving the White House, the 44th president will talk about leadership and how to navigate an unpredictable future.
That's right, Michael, and former President Obama is sure to draw a crowd. He hasn't been here since November 2014. That was the G20 Leaders Summit in Brisbane, and before that he visited at Prime Minister Julia Gillard's invitation in November 2011, where he addressed a joint sitting of federal parliament. Current US President Joe Biden is expected to visit in the first half of next year for a summit of the Quad Group, and while we're on the subject of leader visits, the 36-year-old Finnish Prime Minister Sanna Marin will visit Australia next week. And Michael, before we go, haven't you got some business news?
Well, yes, I do. In fact, Adam, I'm going to squeeze in a story number 6 today into the Fast 5. It's becoming the Speedy 6 today because I am releasing a novel. It is being published by Allen and Unwin here in Australia. It is called How to Be Remembered. It is coming out in March next year, but the big news is that it is now available for pre-order. And so you can head to michaelthompson.net.au. That's michaelthompson.net.au, or follow me on Instagram, Michael Thompson Author, and you can pre-order it in the Black Friday sales. It's a smart move.
Michael, from me to you, congratulations. It is a rare achievement to have written a book and then even rarer to get it published. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Adam. And there we go, the top 5.5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you very much, Adam.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Friday, the 24th of November, 2022. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough for you, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast Five by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.